reacting to the whatever podcast. We got Chase on there. As a Christian, it kind of bleeds in to our little channel here.
No cursing.
So why religious women are more likely to have a successful marriage? They start talking about that. And I seen this earlier this week, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So we're going to get into it. We have we have Panda here to make comments in the background if she finds anything interesting. Onward.
Because Chase mentioned that he had converted some people to Christianity, some of his friends, and I guess for anybody else that's looking for that. Would it mean more to you if you were to find a woman and convert her, or to find a Christian woman that's already Christian? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I tried
What'd
that.
you say? Sorry?
She said great question.
Oh, sorry.
That's what you said.
I thought you were answering. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I tried that in my last relationship. It was unsuccessful. Laid out all the.
Wasn't there other older lady there last time?
Yeah, they change them like every now and then. Oh, I just skipped it like 20 minutes ahead.
Okay, no, that's fine. We're going to skip ahead because I'm not interested in the religious women.
Conversation.
I'm sorry.
Alright, we don't need the negativity. If you
just want to what?
Just want to not talk, that's fine.
Alright. I mean, I did. I was trying to sit over there and you brought me in.
It's like, hey, these are all the reasons I believe. She just didn't want it. She was not interested. If I met a woman who wasn't a Christian and she was willing to hear it out and then she wanted to come to Jesus, I would have to have a really strong relationship with her, Tatum.
He's laughing. Whatever's laughing.
God will not be mocked.
Just because I see there's a lot of prophecy coming from
That's a fact.
I believe that as believers we'll have to.
I think you've been acting real lukewarm lately.
That's not even what I'm doing, dude.
For him or against him?
I'm definitely for him. I'm just not for you.
Alright, well, I'm going to finish her out. I'm going to finish out the episode.
Strong in our faith.
And I guess I'll channel my femininity to give some womanly thoughts.
Has a super strong faith and won't be like wishy-washy if shit gets hard. You know what I mean?
Right. But in the sense, do you feel like she only converted for you?
No, she didn't convert.
No, but I'm saying, if somebody converted, would there be, something in the back of your head that you would say, oh, maybe she only converted for me?
Yeah,
and, does she actually believe in this faith? Does she actually believe in these values and everything?
There would be questions there, because, if she really likes me, she's obviously
going to want to that all over the floor.
Why did you do that?
I didn't mean to. It just came out.
Make it work. That would not be enough for me to want to marry her.
No, I
would want her to be really rock solid in her faith without me. You know what I mean?
So basically what you're saying is you're pursuing somebody that's already
ideally
the same religion. That you don't have to, okay.
Yeah, Tatum, I want a wife that will literally die for her faith in Christ.
Right, and that's totally
You know
fair.
what I mean?
Totally,
and that's hard to find.
It's important to be evenly yoked. Why are you laughing? In a relationship or marriage, it's important to be evenly yoked. So, I mean, if you're a Christian, you don't need to be dating a non-Christian. That's just how it works.
That is how it works. And
a new believer or somebody who's like, I'm just following Jesus because I'm following you. So it's a good question.
I have also tried that. Last dated a guy that wasn't. But I was like, okay, he's a good guy. I was younger and a little more immature, but I was like, okay, it'll be fine. He will. But it really didn't. It got to a point where I did not like, and I really believe this, the feminine masculine. I was like, okay, I want to go to church or I want to do these things. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay. It wasn't as important to him. And I just couldn't. Some people.
You're just staring at me while I'm doing this. So I'll give my 2 cents. So a man needs to lead the household. And that's a fact. She's saying the guy didn't really care about going to church or not. He needs to lead and be the man and actually say, hey, we're going to church.
Or we're not.
Instead of this guy not caring about it. It's just not going to work out in the end.
Either we are or we're not, right?
Past that, my brother actually is a lot less, he'd be like, yeah, that
you just want to sit down.
For me, it just felt so off. It just did not feel right. Mm-hmm. And for me to have to direct that, and then I was like, okay, I am marriage-minded, and I do not want to be the one that wants my kids in church and he doesn't, or me leading the household. I want none of that. I want the man to lead. So, yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. My ex-boyfriend,
he was a Christian, but what I
We can't have a conversation now. I'm at work.
Go.
from the relationship was that his
Well,
fruits did not
I'm
match
glad-
up, and I
aren't
felt
you
like
glad
he
I
was actually
saved your
pulling me away
box?
from God. So for him to be more on the immature spiritual level, I can't do that. I want my husband to be strong and to be pulling me towards God, or if that I'd be pulling, like going together. Like
be a
look at it
leader.
as like a triangle, right?
I
God's
follow.
up here.
Right.
God's up here at the triangle, and if we're on the sides and I'm moving up, it's just gonna pull down. But if we're both moving towards God, that's ultimately what I want. So
That's
yeah,
right.
strong man in faith. That's what I'm looking for. Spiritually fit.
Question for both of you guys. So
Oh.
obviously, the word tells us that
Hmm.
men are called to be the spiritual leaders of the household. It sounds like both of you guys want that. Are you guys also excited to submit to a husband who's a strong leader in the household?
They're not good. They're not really good.
Because, and this I do want to say has changed for me. In college, I had a full ride scholarship. I was like, I want to be, what can I be? Do I want to be a lawyer? Do I want to do whatever? Like, I want to be the boss girl. And it changed a lot for me. My mom was actually, and this is a little off what you're saying with faith, but I think it connects. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I used to think that that was not a real job, and that her helping at the home,
Ew.
my dad working, wasn't a real job. And then I realized later on when my dad told me how much his life has been helped. He's a pilot. He does a lot. He works really, really hard. And he said he could not do that and support our family without my mom's support, and that he gives everything to my mom. The fact that she would do that and get kids to school and things like
There's
that.
different
So
roles.
I used to think, I really used to have an edge to me about submission, that was weak.
You don't do either of them, but there's different
A
roles.
good thing, because I think that
I-
men are
I hold
supposed to
it
lead, I
down.
think women are supposed to
Right
submit
now, I'm
in a way
rehabilitating.
that
I hold it down.
benefits both of them.
I
How's that
work-
not reciprocity?
and Charlie took care of
Why
y'all.
is that submitting?
Thank you.
Did he?
Yeah. And then we flip
Because they're
flop.
both contributing in huge ways. Why is it submitting
You know I'm
versus
not
just calling it
sweet in this
reciprocity?
house?
Can't keep cutting this stuff out. You gotta stop talking.
Oh, sorry.
Just out of curiosity.
I would say it's submission because the man, and for me, I'll just say this for what I
Sorry.
want. I want the man to make decisions. I want him to be the one that puts the effort in with making sure that we are provided for. And I think that women should not just not do anything. But I don't think that, I don't want to be an equal with my husband. I don't want us to both be, I think we're equal in our values.
Okay, you could have sat down earlier. I
No,
don't want you now.
Oh, now you want me gone?
But I don't want us to both be equal earners and things like that. I actually
All right.
would rather be under him and have him lead. And that's okay. Like,
Yeah,
Let's
that's
let-
fine. I
let's
just,
let
I just don't know
Austin-
that
and I don't think that's weak. I also want to say I don't think that's weak
Alsties.
at all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, submission. I look to my family for an example, and when I see my parents, there were a lot of times when my mom did not submit to my father, and in those situations, that's where things kind of went a little bit wrong.
What?
So I can see that.
Being a stay-at-home mom is just as important as the guy that works. It's just different roles.
An example where it could create some problems. So submission, yeah, but don't look at
See, you're very masculine, and that's where it goes downhill. That's where it goes downhill.
Are
As
you
like,
what
Let
is
her
it?
finish her
I
answer.
just,
Let her
I
finish
just
her
want a
answer.
definition. I don't even know what we're talking about. I'm not biased and religious. I'm genuinely trying to ask when you're saying the word submission, what you mean, because my
Oh,
version
God.
of what that means, I don't think is aligning with what you guys are saying. So I'm just trying to understand. I'm not trying to cut off to be rude. I'm
Well, I
really trying to understand.
So I
What the hell is
consider it.
submission?
So I consider it willful cooperation, but some people have a different sense of it. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, for me, what I would expect from a wife in terms of submission is her recognizing I have the ultimately, I'm responsible for my family being safe, provided for, protected, properly led through this world, all that kind of stuff, right? Like, at the end of the day, if my family, gets fucking killed or wrecked, or if they're properly provided for, it all comes down on me, right? And so I expect my wife to defer to me when it comes to important decisions about where should we live, where should we send the kids to for school, what church should we go to? Should I take this job or that job? You know, if my wife wants me to do one job,
You are ruining it. You are ruining it.
no, I think this is the important one.
I'm
expect
ignoring
my
you.
wife to submit to me in that.
Okay, I'm gonna
Trust-
go away
trust
then.
in my leadership.
Your ultimate
Essentially,
say.
trust in
My 411.
You weren't listening to any of the video.
Hers at the end of the day for the well-being of the family.
Yeah, it's essentially trust in leadership, but it's not. That doesn't mean that I'm going to look at my wife like somebody to just boss around. Like I want her to be my partner. You know, I want to come to my
Care
wife.
about what she has to say when you're like which job, but the ultimate come down to which one you pick would be you, and that's the submittance part.
And also keep in mind that the man, when you are submitting to him, it's not just any man. This is a man who has earned your respect.
A good man.
This is a man who has
Bingo.
earned that position.
Sure, so it's like
Bingo.
these are like literally from the Bible. That's why I'm like so just like this.
For us-
I'm really asking. I'm just
For
it's
us,
over my head.
like us non-Christian people,
Yeah.
it's like a father while you're married, basically.
That is not what it's like at all. All right. Well, I thought that was pretty interesting. Getting into the Whatever podcast. Chase is on there once. He gives good insight on how Christians should act and things like that. You're not on the podcast. You just need to cut it out. All right. Panda was in and out today. I don't know what was going on with her. But definitely look up the Whatever podcast if Chase is on there, because he can give some pushback to the secular worldview and how everything's going with that. So we'll see y'all next week.